So this video is going to start with me being in Arizona. I got there, got the hotel, picked up my buddy, hung around in Phoenix overnight, and then went to Tucson the next day. So that's what this video is going to cover. And it'll be day one and day two of being in Tucson. It is only a Friday-Saturday event. We did end up taking off a little bit early, and I'll get into that later. Now, I will give an apology. I do have a GoPro, and I did a lot of filming on that of the driving and some of the other stuff at the event itself. I had an epic fail with the memory card, and nothing converted over. I'm not entirely sure what I did. Again, I'm not super tech savvy. I know I need to do better on some of my video presentations. So those that keep following these, again, I realize that. I do apologize. I'm hoping you're getting some enjoyment otherwise. But I am working on getting some lessons in video production and using the GoPro more efficiently. So the video might chop up a couple times where I do some of these little tidbits about what's going on, stuff that would have failed on my GoPro coverage. But again, we're going to start up being in Phoenix at this point. So I hope you enjoy this one, and we'll catch you later. All right, so after having a pretty low-key day in Phoenix, got to the hotel, took a much needed shower. Just kind of laid low, took a little bit of a nap, kind of catch up from all the driving. I'm coming into Phoenix International. I hate coming into airports because it's not enough lanes, too many people, too confusing. It just isn't any fun. So we'll see if this is any better. I finally got Minneapolis down. We'll see if this gets any better. Let's see, Terminal 3, arrivals and departures. So, I haven't seen my buddy Anthony in a while, and usually when I do, it's only an hour here, an hour there. We grew up together. There's a whole nother story with all of that. But this will be good. We'll have the whole weekend together, be able to catch up on some stuff, and just act like we're teenagers again. So that's where we're at.
Double take.
Yeah, I was thinking outside.
All your settings. I changed all your settings.
All right, so we are currently motoring east, leaving Phoenix, heading to Tucson. So we did
You're
get.
gonna be empty, buddy.
We
You're gonna be empty.
Ooh.
Maybe on purpose.
We got Anthony from the airport last night. We did some bouncing around Phoenix, doing some running around. Now we are way to Tucson. I've already seen a couple of folks that are going to meet us out there. They're going to be racing. So Anthony offered to drive for a little bit. So we'll do a little bit more of a meet and greet when we get there with Anthony and what his story is and what our story is. And yeah, we got about an hour or so to get to Tucson. We're going to make a quick stop at Walmart again. Pick up some rations for the next 2 days, and maybe pick up some liquid libations for the Motor Trend guys. See if we can bribe our way into doing a little bit more of a meet and greet. So we're motoring along. We'll see what we can see on the road. All right, so here we are. We finally made it to Tucson Dragway, not Speedway, Dragway. Went the wrong place at first. But we're in, we're parked, we're going to be camping, do some walking around, checking the pits. I don't know what time the racing actually starts. I'm only going to get so much coverage on what we've got here, but I will try and do the highlights the best we can and, see who we can meet, see if we can get some pictures with some of the hosts and whatnot. So, yeah, we're here. We made it. Van did okay. Air conditioning is awesome. Cruise control is pretty cool. Embarrassing people that got outrun by a minivan is probably the best the trip so far. So we'll walk around, get some miles put on, and get some pictures of some cool cars.
I might do a low truck. I think I like that. Cars are awesome. If I get a boat.
I said, you let me know what you want. There's a chance I have something. All right, so that's the end of day one in Tucson. I did have a few moments I was able to talk with Lucky, kind of told him a little bit about my story and why I ultimately came to that particular event. I did get a chance to finally meet Freiberger and chat with him for a few. And just on a whim, I had mentioned that last year at Drag Week, I had actually brought a couple beers in on Wednesday when he was in the timing tower. And he said he remembered that. And Freiberger seems genuine enough that I believe him, that was enough of an event to stand out to him. So it was pretty cool. He had a pretty cool story about Bonneville. Again, one of the reasons I wanted to go, we got a Bonneville tin sign, and I wanted to have the guys sign it because it really got my wife into, the shows that I watch, kind of do what I'm doing, and why we went to Bonneville on our other road trip. Lucky kind of laughed at it, and he's like, you just pulled the sign down from the Bonneville? And said, no, we bought one. But when I was talking with Freiberger about it, that we had rented a car and went out there, and he's like, you took a rental out there? I'm like, yeah, we kind of got hit with a cleaning fee. He had told a fun story about years and years ago. He had rented a car with a buddy of his, took it out there, and ended up destroying the engine because all the salt and everything that got in there. And he called the rental company and said, yep, this is where it's at. Keys are in it. Come get it. And they made him and his buddy actually buy the car. His buddy didn't care his pocket change to him. But it was kind of a fun little side-by-side story. I'd like to hear him tell it on one of his shows one of these days. But again, that does wrap up day one I'm going to have a few more things of day 2. Then at the very end, I might have a slideshow of whatever random stuff that I have that didn't really fit anywhere else in the video. So we did end up camping on site in the van. In the morning, made eggs and coffee and everything with my little camp stove. The folks we had on both sides of us were really cool. We chatted all night and everything. Really fun time, really good group of people. I'm really looking forward to doing it again. But before I get that far, here is day 2. Well, those are kind of the highlights of the trip. Again, I do apologize. There's a lot that I had that I just was not able to save from that memory card. So it was a good time all in all. I got done what I wanted to do. Got to hang out with my buddy. I got the sign signed. I was able to chat with Derek from Vice Grip Garage and Roadworthy Rescues, let him know a couple projects that I had that might be in his wheelhouse. And he actually seemed genuinely interested and took my information down. And I forgot he's kind of up by this way when I let him know where I was. He's like, "Don't you have a giant fish on the highway?" It's a big old sunfish. So he's from a little bit north of here, even though he's down in Nashville area now. But he did take my information, took one of my business cards, so I might be able to do some work with him in the future. Again, got to tell the guys the history of the sign, why I was going to have them sign it. The one that I didn't get a picture of is the guy that helped build F-Rod. His name was Sam. He signed it as well. And the wife actually has it hanging in her office right now. So the only one I have left to get when I can find a way to actually be in the same spot as him is Finnegan. It'd be cool to get his on there as well. But otherwise, the trip was a blast. They had the Vice Grip Garage burnout pit that we got to see. They did a couple different stages, and we got to see some of it from the other side of the racetrack where we were at. But by the time we made it back over there, all that was kind of on a break. We ended up leaving a little bit early because we were going to try and get Anthony to a different airport to try and get home. It would have allowed him to spend some time with one of his brothers who's in Denver. Ended up kind of being a horse show about all that, but we got a hotel back in Phoenix, got him to the airport, and basically motored home from there. Made it home a whole lot faster than I made it out there because, again, at that point, I just wanted to get home. So, but it was a good time. If I can find some way to retrieve the information off that memory card, I might do an update down the road. Otherwise, if you like seeing the stuff with the trips, assuming I can get better at my videography with it and my video editing, if you'd like to see more of these trips that I plan on taking in the future, let me know. Shoot a comment down. As always, a like and a subscribe if you feel comfortable doing so. Definitely helps me out with the channel. I'm considering building a car to actually race next year, and maybe I'll have more folks to help me do some video work with it. Anybody that watches these, if you've got any tips or tricks on how to import, stuff with the GoPro, or what kind of video editing software you might be using, what kind of a computer that you have. One of my computers just isn't strong enough for the video editing software I was going to try, so I know I need to update some of my stuff. But yeah, like I said, every time, if you got any questions, comments, throw them down below. Like and subscribe helps me with the channel. And as always, I will see you guys next time. Thanks.